Hi guys, it's Tammy, Keto Cricket, checking in again for Vlogust day 16. You guys will see this on the 17th. As usual, you'll get to see it the next day. Quick update, I'm going to keep going with my story and kind of why I decided to do keto and how I got there, as well as kind of the end result of keto. But I did want to just share a quick update on the, and I pulled it up on my computer so that I would say the dang name correctly. So I am taking levothyroxine. I think that's how you say it. I posted the name of it, I think, in one of my other video clips. So I'm taking 50 milligrams, if you care. I don't know if you do, but anyway, I did have another new low. So last week my low was 155.8. Today I'm at 155.6, which is kind of spooky. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very surprised because it must have been water weight, like the doctor said, from the medication, apparently, because I literally lost like 3.4 pounds overnight. Like, I weighed the same time today as I do it wasn't a weird weekend thing, like normal. I didn't eat. I actually ate a lot yesterday. Anyway, so yay, and a little weirded out. It's kind of freaky. But anyway, so far things are good. I'm glad that it doesn't seem like that levothyroxine is going to make me gain weight, like I was kind of freaked out about a little bit. So that's good. But to continue on my story, so today we will start off where we left yesterday, which was my teenage years. Basically, what stopped the cycle of basically anorexia, basically not eating, going through phases where I just starved myself, and I didn't binge because we didn't have money to binge, so I never really binged, but I didn't eat nutritionally still. I basically would eat a Snickers bar and a Dr. Pepper for lunch pretty much every day, and then breakfast was very rare. So every once in a while I'd have breakfast, but and then dinner was kind of sporadic as well. It's usually like Top Ramen or something like that. That feast or famine thing through those years continued. But anyway, so what stopped that? I mentioned yesterday it was really my relationship with Jesus that kind of finished that. I actually accepted Jesus as my Savior the summer before my freshman year, but I kind of did it for the wrong reasons. I feel like I did it off by myself, but I almost kind of did it because everybody at the camp was doing it, and it did change my life. But I feel like it was kind of a slow progression. Like, some people, when they become a Christian, their whole life changes dramatically overnight. And I don't feel like that happened for me. Honestly, I think that my life really changed probably over the year, more slowly. But what happened with my weight loss journey, if you're still listening, is the next summer, so the summer between my freshman and my sophomore year, I went to a festival. It was called Jesus Northwest, and during the festival, it's a big concert music festival. And before the concerts, they would have a worship service beforehand. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google worship service and figure it out. But one particular day, I remember after the worship service, this random stranger came up to me and was like, "Hey, I've been trying to get your picture because watching you, I was just amazed at how beautiful you were." And it took me back. Like, it just was kind of surprising. It wasn't like a boy my age. It wasn't a creepy guy. It was nothing weird, just so you know. He kind of emphasized that later. He's like, I'm not trying to hit on you or anything. I just really thought that you should know that when you're in the worshiping God, when you're doing that, you just looked so peaceful and angelic. And it just really struck me at that moment that, oh my gosh, that's how God sees me. You know, this person got a glimpse of me through God's eyes. That's how I feel about that. And it really changed my perspective on my body image. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't like a wallflower my freshman year in high school. So if you're my friends watching this, you know that I was super boy crazy. So it wasn't like, you know, I didn't have boyfriends or, you know, I was this shy person. I was not. I had a lot of boyfriends, probably because I wanted that reaffirmation that I was attractive. And so, but that moment is the moment that just struck me and really helped me change that image and get out of that cycle of starving myself because I wasn't thin enough, because I needed that attention from guys, and I didn't think that I would get it if I didn't weigh a certain amount. So that's kind of what stopped that terrible cycle. So from there, I really did, I didn't put on a ton of weight, but because I was no longer stopping myself, you know, and I still didn't have good nutritional habits, I ended up getting up to about 165, which is what I was at when I got married. So when I met my husband, I weighed about 165 pounds. I'd love to tell you that I was like all muscle, but I wasn't. I was pretty fit. I walked to work, I waitressed, and I did a lot of physical jobs that it was on my feet a lot. And I loved to walk. I've always loved to just walk around outside, and I would literally walk for, you know, 5-10 miles after working an 8-hour shift as a waitress on my feet all day. So I did have pretty good calf muscles, but I wasn't like muscular or built or anything like that. I wore a size 10 at that time, as in ladies. When I was in high school, kind of up to that point, I wore a size 9 in juniors, and then because I got up to about 150, 155 my sophomore year and junior year, and then kind of the end of my junior year is when I hit that 165 mark, and then I just stayed there. That just ended up being kind of where I lived until I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, I only gained actually 15 pounds the first 9 months. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, the first 9 months, isn't pregnancy only 9 months? No, my friend, it is not. It's actually 10 months. But not only that, my daughter was 2 weeks late. So I had to be induced. And for every week that she was late, I gained another 5 pounds. So I was super uncomfortable. I was not a nice, happy, pregnant woman. I know there are lots of ladies out there that love being pregnant and think it's a magical experience, and I am so happy for you that you enjoy that. I was miserable. I hated being pregnant. I didn't like anything about it except having my daughter. Having my daughter, I wanted to be a mom ever since I was a little kid, so that part was fantastic, and I would do it again. I would suffer through the flames of hell, which is what I feel pregnancy is, to have her again and again, and I would never change that in a million years, because she is amazing, and she's my best friend, and I love her to death. But anyway, so I ended up gaining, by the time I had her, I put on, 25 pounds. So when I had her, I was 210 pounds altogether. And after, she was a big baby. She was 8 pounds, 10 ounces. So I lost, good 10 pounds right out of the gate. And then I ended up going down to about 190. And that is how much I weighed until I got pregnant again, which I got pregnant pretty quickly. After that, my daughter was about 18 months old when I got pregnant again. And that one was a surprise. So my daughter, we tried to have her, which is, everybody's like, that's crazy, you'd only been married. We literally were trying to have a baby from the day we got married, just because we had both been told individually that there may be some issues, and we kind of wanted to find out right away, because if there were issues, both of us wanted to be parents a lot, so we thought, you know what, well, we want to get it out of the way and find out right away. That way, if we do have issues, we can go in and get that addressed and start that process, because if you do deal with infertility, it can be years and years to fix, if it is fixable, right? So that was what the purpose of that was. Well, my son, that was just kind of happened. I was actually on progesterone when I got pregnant with him. So God was like, you know, if you don't have him now, you're probably never going to do this again, because again, I hated being pregnant. I hated it so much. And I wasn't in a really happy place during that year. So after I had my daughter, looking back, I probably did have a little bit of postpartum depression. We lived in a city that literally was only light from about 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because it was a true valley. I was in school full time, I was going to college, and the darkness combined with being newly married and super young, and then we had a baby right away, and I was not in a great place. So I wasn't a very happy person at that time. My husband is amazing. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, and it is only by the grace of God that he put up with me all these years, honestly. But I got pregnant, and at that point, even though I was still in school, we talked about it, and we were like, okay, having one baby and going to school is one thing, having two, we need to get out of here. We need to focus on our marriage, focus on our family, and put everything else aside. And so that was what we did. So we ended up moving back towards home, or at least towards where our family lived, which was Eastern Oregon and Western Idaho. And we moved over there for a while, and I had my son. So when Josh, I ended up only gaining 15 pounds with, which is a good thing, but once again, I got up to 210, and I knew he was going to be my last baby. But that is where we are going to leave off for today. Again, I don't want to make these super long, and I've started way at the beginning, and so this way you can watch them a little bit at a time as you have time. So, and to recap this one, I met Jesus, but then it took a year for me to figure out that I was beautiful the way God made me, and I didn't need to be a size 5 or a size 4 to be beautiful. That God saw me for who I was and for my heart. And I just want you guys to know that he feels the exact same way about you. I don't care who you are or what you've done. He feels the same way about you, and he created you, and when he looks at you, it's breathtaking. You know, he sees all of the beauty that's inside of you. He sees your heart, and he sees those kind things that you do. So it doesn't matter what size you are, there's beauty within you. Whether you're a guy or a girl, guys can be beautiful as well. And then I got married and kind of got sad and fat and fat and fat. But, my husband loved me anyway. And that is where we will leave off for today. I hope you guys have a great Friday when you're watching this. Friday is a crazy day for me, as you know. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.